Carolina's prospects against the Seattle Seahawks. The number's 252-228-5098. Don't forget, though, this show. Actually, you know what? Let's put it this way. Baker Mayfield may have gotten cut, but you don't want to cut your balls when you're taking care of your junk, right? And that's why you should use Manscaped products. Manscaped is the leader in the below-the-belt grooming for men. I'm telling you these products, and I don't know why I keep yelling at, like I'm doing spin at the computer screen so much. But these products, like the lawnmower, the weed whacker, this is Cody Lack's joint for his ears and nose. This wonderful bag that will come in the premium package, man. This manly bag by Manscaped. But you know what the best stuff is? The stuff that's in the bag right now. That is the crop preserver, ball deodorant, bro, and the 4.0 lawnmower. Don't cut your balls like Baker Mayfield gets cut from the Carolina Panthers. Use Manscaped products. Promo code Panthers. You'll get 20% off your order. It's a great time for the holidays to protect your little drummer boy, right? Manscaped.com. Use the promo code Panthers, 20% off and free shipping. They say it's limited time. If you don't like, right? We got the good deal for you. Go to Manscaped, support the podcast. Cody, let's jump into this show.
Let's do it. Let's jump into this Baker Mayfield conversation. Cause man, this is a funny one, man. At least to me it is. Cause again, look, you know me, I'm a showboat. I feel so vindicated. I never saw through, or I saw through the facade. I feel like that was Baker Mayfield. Everybody wanted him to be 2020 Baker, but it didn't turn out. It did not turn out for him, Carolina. And here in Carolina, the Panthers have released him, allowing him to go on waivers. And the former number one overall pick, Baker Mayfield, was claimed on waivers today by the Los Angeles Rams, per league sources. The Rams now inherit the remaining $1.35 million on Mayfield's contract. Mayfield is expected to fly to LA by tonight and could play Thursday night versus the Raiders. Jeremy Fowler reported a source said that the Baker Mayfield release was mutual, as Baker Mayfield asked for his release and the Panthers honored that request. He just simply wasn't in the plans for Carolina. And the last sad little bit, the Rams were the only team to place a waiver claim on Baker Mayfield. Shout out to all my Baker bottoms, because now we are Baker bottomless, baby. No more Baker Mayfield. I'll just pitch this to each of you guys. What do you make of Baker and his time here in Carolina? I know Tony kind of said before he's hoping for the best for Baker. To me, it's don't let the door hit you on the ass on the way out. What say all of you?
I'll tell you what. Oh, go ahead, TK. Go ahead.
I was going to say, I mean, honestly, obviously, I'm not wishing ill will on anybody, but I remember when we first traded for him, I went back and I watched that little life of Baker and how he got to the to the NFL, and I remember, stating something to you guys like, honestly, it feels like Baker was a villain. Just the way that he carried himself, planting the flag on, in Ohio State. It's just a lot of little things like that. And a lot of people like that swagger, but I mean, it just felt like he was constantly making enemies. And I know Cam did too in a lot of ways, but like what he did was like almost to more disrespectful than anything. And I remember thinking that early on. So, I mean, I'm not as upset as I didn't want us to trade for him at all anyway. So, I mean, quite honestly, I'm all right with this. I think that I wanted to give him the benefit of the doubt for a few games. I thought he would be better than he was, but it turned out that he was just worse than what anybody could have ever told me he was. And so, yeah, ready to move on. He needs to be on another team and not be, on come on, man, because he's headbutting offensive lineman without a helmet.
Yeah, I was all in on Baker whenever we got him. I mean, I was very hopeful this is going to be the answer. I'm at the point now where just like everything that comes up next, I want to be like, yes, this is it, this is the guy, this is the guy, and eventually I'm going to be right. Like that's kind of where I feel because we've been so wrong. It's just so funny that this news. I cared so little about this news that I barely heard or read anything about it. Baker's gone. I just don't care. It's so different from how I felt at the beginning of the season, and it's so weird to say that, but I just don't care.
Yeah.
Let me see
Go
if I
ahead,
can
Tony.
open this. I'm trying to
Be the
open
voice of reason.
image. Well, one is I think that this is a smart business move by Baker Mayfield.
Sure.
And I mean, obviously the Panthers clearly knew that they're not going to go back to him. So this is an opportunity for him to find a home beyond Carolina, right? Like, I mean, if he
Sure.
goes to a team and even if he starts 3 games or 1 game or even just plays as a backup or doesn't play at all and just meets a coach, learns the playbook, could lend himself towards having some sort of job next year. And I don't think that the tape that he put out in Carolina does that, right? So he would have a better like what else can he do to ruin his prospects at this point? The funniest thing though I saw, I put this up real quick, is I saw somebody on Twitter say this. They said Baker Mayfield got released before I got my Baker off the leash t-shirt before it came in the mail.
You know what's funny is like it's so the conversation I think that's worth having is he was going to be third string. That was what he was told. That's when he asked for his release based on what the reporting and what the way that Steve Wilkes almost told it as well. It wasn't until he knew that he was going to be the third string that he said, like, listen, I number one, when you look at what you have out there, when you saw what happened this past weekend to quarterbacks with Lamar Jackson, with Jimmy G, with the fact that Matt Stafford is out there, with the fact that Trevor Lawrence looked like he took a pretty bad knee injury that, somehow he's able, I don't know if there's been an injury designation to him yet, but it looked like it was pretty brutal. And so, I mean, when you're looking at the landscape of
Trevor
things,
Lawrence.
Yeah, that's what I said. What, did I say something else?
No, I mean, I'm sorry. I thought you said Jimmy. I thought we were talking about Jimmy G.
Yeah, I said Jimmy G, Trevor Lawrence taking that hit to the knee, and then Lamar Jackson having a sprained knee as well. It's certainly, a smart business move, to your point, Tony. But he went to the Rams. I don't know that he's going there to compete, or even, I mean, he's not going to have Cooper Kupp. They're just now getting Cam Akers back involved over there. And they're going to be without so many people in that defense. I mean, Aaron Donald, and I don't know that they have the necessary weaponry or even the offensive line to keep him in a position to succeed. Matt Stafford was struggling because of that exact reason.
If you look at Baker Mayfield, like, he's going to a worse football team right now. They are. Look at Tony. They are what your record says you are, and the Rams right now are a worse football team.
Did they have 3 wins?
Yeah, I think they have like 3 wins. Yeah, they're like 3 and 8
That's it.
or something.
You're telling me they're only 3 wins? I don't know.
Yes, look it up.
It may be 4, but it's pretty dead. It's down there pretty low. The funny thing is, looking back on last year, they're the Super Bowl champs. Last year, we were kind of laughing about how the Lions lost that trade, which we kind of knew they would. It doesn't look like they kind of won it this year. Let me look at Jared Goff in Detroit. Like, it looks like the Lions won that trade now.
But they're going to be so upset when Baker Mayfield gets in there and starts overthrowing receivers by a mile, starts double pumping the football, and pump faking one too many times, having it batted down at the line of scrimmage, and then he's always.
I know he was so bad in Carolina.
The Rams are 3-9, by the way.
They are. Yeah, I just looked it up.
Yeah.
Where should he go? How about that? Where do you think the best fit for him
to be a starter.
right at this moment, because you get how many games we got left? Say 5 games left for most teams. What would be the best fit for him? I mean, you got the Ram. I mean, he went to the Rams, the 49ers, like you
there.
said.
Yeah.
I mean,
Like,
maybe the 49ers, because you don't, I heard rumors that maybe Jimmy G isn't injured as bad as they thought. But then they have Trey Lance and waiting. I don't know. I mean, this
no,
is
but
probably
like it would
as
just
good
be
of
for this
option
year.
him
They're
as any.
8-4 right now. Here is the thing: this is the I gotta play this for y'all. Do you know who the Rams have basically said they passed on Jimmy Garoppolo? I mean, whoever we're talking about, Baker Mayfield, right? He made it through waivers, or maybe the Rams picked him up before he got to the 49ers. I wonder what the waiver order was. But somebody said that the 49ers have chosen the most, they call him Mr. Irrelevant, right?
Yeah,
Purdy.
the last pick of the
Mhm.
draft.
Yeah, he was
Brock
the
Purdy.
last pick of this past year's draft.
Yeah.
And they passed up the first round pick, the very first pick of another draft, basically, for the last. They're like, we'll just roll with Purdy.
Yeah, but
You know
he
what I'm saying?
played
The
good.
last pick is they're like, we'll see what we got with him next week. So
He played
this
well though. They liked his performance.
And they have some weapons too, man. Like you don't have to have fantastic quarterback play in San Francisco. They've got some serious weapons.
let me see if I can play this here.
I think it's the Niners. Oh, sorry.
This was Roger Sherman was asked if the 49ers should go after Baker Mayfield.
You do not bring him in. No.
Sherman's
no,
like must-watch TV.
You do
I
not.
love him.
You do not bring him
Always
in.
have loved him.
No, you do not. You do not. You do not. You do not. You do not bring him in.
Yeah, but do you bring him in?
No, you do not. You do not. You do not. You do not.
I mean,
Wait.
that's
He only said you do not like one time, but then
they repeated it. Yeah.
like Jim
Played it
Rome, it was
over
on the
and
Jim
over.
Rome show, and he was like,
Wow.
"What do you?" And he just did this for like 4 minutes. And Jim Rome is always awesome, and he's just the biggest sarcastic asshole in the world, which I love him. Man. He's like, so you're trying to tell me Baker Mayfield can't pick up you wouldn't let him take your daughter to whatever, and I'm like, you do not. What would you let Baker Mayfield do right now, actually?
Well,
He's
is he better
backup.
than any starting quarterback, anybody starting in the NFL right now? That's the question.
No.
Think about White is up in New York. You got Purdy in San Francisco. Like any of these guys who are back, and who's Huntley in Baltimore? Is he better than any of them?
Would
I mean,
you
it's
let
bad
him
that
host
we
a
share.
charity drive with you?
You do not
Is he
bring him
better
in.
than Cam
No.
Newton?
Sherman's like a must-watch TV.
You do
I
not.
love
You
him.
do not.
Yeah.
You do not bring him in.
Always.
Would you, Greg? Would you let him help you remodel your bathroom?
have loved him.
No, you do not. You do not. You do not. You do not.
CK, would you let him photograph a house with you?
Yeah.
You do not bring him in.
Yeah, but do you bring him in?
No, you do not.
Broke the cycle.
Sorry.
I feel like he could help me sell. Like, I feel like he would be the type of guy who'd be a really good salesman. Like,
Hey,
he,
does Baker Mayfield read stupid super chats by a South Carolina fan?
You do not. You do not.
You do not, dude. You do not. And by the way, there's no one by the name DJ at Clemson anymore. So I have no idea who you speak of by Chocolate Espresso. You
I
have
hope
to
he comes to ECU.
Really? No, you don't. You probably don't.
Why?
I don't know. You might be regretting that.
Our quarterback's
he-
done anyway, and like we're a small school, like we can take that. We'll take that. We'll make a run with this dude. I mean, not for a national championship, clearly. Like we just trying to win.
I hope it goes to y'all then, man. ECU Pirates, baby.
Okay, so Baker? That's enough about Baker for right now. What else is up here?
So this